Welcome back to Next Shift with Rick Wagan. Suzuki does not suck. The Montreal Canadiens lost 2 games over the weekend. The second game was against the Boston Bruins. They lost 6-3, giving up an empty net goal. The Montreal Canadiens started the first part of the first period off not badly. It looked like a back and forth hockey game. And then somewhere around 11:45 of the first period, Boston got their first goal. They proceeded to get 2 other quick goals by 12 minutes and 55 seconds. So a minute and 10 seconds later, the Canadiens were down 3-0, and the game was getting out of hand. Martin St. Louis did take a timeout, seemed to kind of get their legs underneath them, and were able to finish off the period without any more damage. 38 seconds, however, into the second period, the Montreal Canadiens gave up a fourth goal and were down 4-0. It seemed likely that goal was going to be the backbreaker that ended the game, but to the Montreal Canadiens' credit, they did score a little bit later in the second period to make it 4-1, and they went into the third period down 4-1. Again, only 21 seconds into this third period, they gave up another goal and were down 5-1. 2 more quick goals, however, by the Montreal Canadiens early in the third period made it 5-3 and made it a game. And ultimately, they lost on an empty net goal with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left or so in the game. The lone bright spot I'll say about the Montreal Canadiens is the first line looked good again. Cole Caulfield had 2 goals. Nick Suzuki had 2 assists. Jack Guy had a nice assist on one of Cole Caulfield's goals. Lane Hutson made a nice play up-manning the puck to Jake Evans, and Jake Evans hit Heineman, who scored again, this time a beautiful one-time shot from deep in the slot, high top of the circle, to score his 6th of the year. So good for him. It seems the Gallagher-Dvorak line with Slafkovsky, they were pretty big minus. Slafkovsky was -3 again. I thought Kirby Dach just doesn't look like he has it right now. The biggest challenge of the game, I guess I would call, is Caden Primo just didn't come up with any big stops, and I hate to say it, but Mike Matheson -4. That does include the shorthanded goal. He basically handed the Bruins the game. So Mike Matheson looked awful out there. Lane Hutson played with Mike Matheson. I can't say he played a great defensive game. Obviously, he did some good things in his own end, but he was on for 4 goals against, if you don't count the goal they scored with him. So, all in all, I can't fault Lane Hutson. I think he played a solid game, and he was playing with a guy who was just giving up the puck. And it was a frustrating night for me to watch Mike Matheson yesterday. As I said from the beginning of the year, I don't think Mike Matheson should be in the long-term plans of the Montreal Canadiens, and if he is, he could be a 5th or 6th defenseman. I don't know if that's where he belongs on this team. So we'll see how long he lasts. French-Canadian, or at least Anglophone Montrealer from the West Island who knows how to speak a solid French. I believe he's friendly with the Hughes family. I'm not positive about that. But all in all, I mean, listen, he's a good guy. He seems like a solid individual. Played in many of the same leagues I played in, so I appreciate his skating and some of his skill. He has a lethal shot, but he just makes a lot of mistakes for a team that wants to contend. Kudos to Alex Newhook as well. I think Alex played great again, and he looks solid on that line. I'm not a huge fan of Alex Newhook, but if you can play some of that line and that line looks good, that just leaves a second line with a Slafkovsky and a Dach potentially, or now Patrick Laney might be around the corner. So I can say that Joshua Waugh, although he didn't look bad, he didn't look good either. He just doesn't have the speed or the quickness that he needs right now to play at the NHL level. I think the Montreal Canadiens had a choice to make with Patrick Laine coming off of LTIR, and they had to choose whether they just want to keep another player or whether they wanted to send somebody to Laval. And their choices without a waiver were either Heineman or Waugh, and I guess they chose Waugh, and I don't disagree with that for now. I think, if there's any injuries to the top 6 or even middle 6, I think that's where a Joshua can best be suited. So we'll see where the lineup kind of goes from here. Again, Caden Gooley was solid. David Savard still looks slow out there. Jaden Struble had a good game again, and I like the way Arbor Jackeye played as well. So the Canadians have a problem. They don't have a backup goalie. Let's face it. I mean, Caden Primo, he won the Mike Richter Award at the NCAA. He had a solid playoffs in Laval one year. Last year he looked okay in a 3 goalie tandem. He just doesn't look confident out there and isn't making the big saves that you need a goalie to make. That being said, when it was 5-3, he did keep the team in the game on a couple of key saves. So kudos to him on that. But an .828 save percentage for that game, and I don't think it's much better for the whole year. It's kind of par for the course for Caden Primo. So I'm not sure how much longer the Canadians are going to keep him there, or if they look to outside of the organization, or they bring somebody up from Laval. Dobish is having a solid season on Laval. If they feel like they can waive Caden and get him down there, that might be a play, but I think that's a risk they might have to take. That's it for me. That's it for next shift. The next game is on Tuesday against the New York Islanders. We expect Patrick Laine in the lineup. Again, kudos to Cole Caulfield, who scored 2 goals, and Emil Heineman, who scored, I don't know if it's his 3rd and 4 games or 3rd and 5 games, but he seems to be the real deal. So it doesn't always have to be a 1st overall, 2nd overall, 5th overall player that ends up being a top 6 forward on your team. He's got speed, he's got grit, he works hard in the corners, and he has an elite shot. So could be a great find for the Montreal Canadiens. It was a trade with, I believe, Toffoli to Calgary back in the day. So it could turn out to be a good find, and hopefully that player becomes a mainstay on the Montreal Canadiens. He definitely looks like he belongs. Like I said, that's it for next shift. That's it for Rick Wagan. Suzuki does not suck. Talk to you guys soon.